from the Bells Bowl here at the Rip Curl Pro. The second round of the women's event back underway here with Bronte Macaulay loading up and attacking the lip. On her first wave, she's up against Sage Erickson, looking to get that quick start. She'll be inspired by what she saw from Carolyn Marks in the first heat of the second round, the goofy footer getting the win over the regular footer. And Bronte finding some nice flow through to the inside here. And not done yet. Working hard for points. And she gets that finish right there on the inside in front of the big crowd.
And Bronte finding some wall to work with too. Just such a great opening exchange for this heat. Bronte would have taken some pointers from Caroline Marks, a fellow goofy footer, in the previous heat. Both Sage and Bronte looking so switched on. A little bit caught behind on that end section. She wants more on this inside, so linkage through to the inside and a good finish right on the sand for Bronte.
And now transitioning back into women's, and here's what happened on the outside for Sage.
Nice swoop for Sage Erickson as she brings this back to that critical section. Oh, huge rail turn, a lot of spray. So Sage just needing to finish this one off. She looks a lot more switched on today. Unfortunately going down awkwardly on that section. Yep, that's one thing with the criteria. I'll get back to that.
So Sage looking for a good backup now. She definitely looks switched on, but that wave just didn't pan out at all. She out the back is going to maybe get an opportunity here. Only needs a 1.68 to get herself in front. Caught behind here for a moment. And now gets the opportunity to let go of a turn, but it doesn't work out too well for her. One big backhand blast that I remember quite clearly. I think she's got to get those similar turns kind of happening against Sage, because Sage has been really adding some size to her maneuvers lately. And she's up once again, hammering down the line, but she just loses it on that second move. So a couple of falls now.
That first maneuver was so strong. She just needed to finish that wave off, and that's almost what Caroline said. Don't have to go too hard. Because of the lumpy conditions, I think Sage just needed to hammer that second turn. We'll just see this in slow-mo. You can really see the intricacies of what she's doing on this wave. A lot of spray comes out of it with a lot of speed, and then right here goes up vertically and then kind of leans back too far back. It just gets hung up and goes over backwards. So it's so easy to get unbalanced when there's water pushing back at you. To stay centered over that board. She just got bucked off.
Well, Bronte with a big opportunity now. She needs a 4.01 to get herself out in front. Strong first turn, but she's going to get stuck in the wash too. 16-year-old turning us all into students with an amazing performance here in the second round. And out there in the lineup, well, the troubles continue for Bronte Macaulay. A few falls now. She is hanging on to a 5, but she's after a 4.01. Sage Erickson's out there with priority. Thank God you're here, because I knew they were lying. Here we go. Sage Erickson up. She's got a big opportunity here. Strong start to this ride. Can't stay on her feet though. It's been a major problem for both these competitors at the moment. I guess it's making it kind of an even battle, because they're both missing opportunities to lock away big numbers. Sage, a great start to that ride, Rosie, but once again can't finish it off.
And with a couple falls, you can't afford to do that.
Can Bronte Macaulay capitalise? Strong start to this ride. A good pace through the second turn too. She changes up her approach. So a good hit followed by a carve. Now looking for something else on the inside. Has some speed. Building nicely. Drives up into it. Banks it and sticks it. Just over 13.5 minutes to go. She needed a 4.61. It just might do it.
Yep. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays in. Right in front of her competitor, Sage Erickson, as she's paddling out. She goes vert into that lip. Comes out with a lot of speed. Gets that bottom turn down. Brings that rail back around. So the two major maneuvers out the back. And then this is pretty much just transition, waiting for it to stand up again. Hits it off the top, gets a little bit hung up there. Had that been a clean, big, dynamic maneuver, she would have gained a lot of points. We'll see if it is that score that she requires of a 4.61.
out there in the lineup at the moment. We've got Bronte Macaulay holding the lead. Her last wave came through at a 5.93. But Sage has an opportunity here. Another really strong start. Let's see if she can stay on her feet this time. Good second turn, a bigger wave. We know she's got that strong flow, those beautiful big rail turns. And she's going to get the finish that she's been chasing right here. So Sage was looking for a 4.26, Rosie.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that she got it.
I think she crushed it.
Yep, hammered that wave to bits. So happy we get another look at it. Long wall for her to work with. Digs into that first turn. Allows her an opportunity to set up the second. So two great rail moves. And then some transitional cutbacks just to keep her engaged in this wave. And you can even tell in those maneuvers how engaged she is and how she wants to just make an impact with every move. The finishing move, just really great surfing, strong approach.
From these competitors here at Bells Beach, they'll ride a shortboard, but they'll put a bigger set of fins in. These are the smaller set of the AM1s. She has the medium sets out there, so it gives a little more stability on the same exact equipment that she was riding at Winky Pot.
Pete, give us some insight into what Tommy Whitaker was saying when Sage was falling on those rides.
Oh, she's going to let her have it with priority.
Well, let's see what this wave looks like down the line. So that's what Sage saw. She saw a close out. She let Bronte have it. Smart wave selection. That's something that the coach will be pretty happy about. Well, much like the men's event, it's been very hard for goofy footers to get the victory over the regular footers at this contest, especially when they're surfing like this. Sage Erickson's been laying down some deep rail turns in this heat. This wave a little lumpy through those first couple of moves. She's trying to get rid of a 6.67 here, and this wave's not going to count for her, but just over a minute to go. I feel like she's maybe done enough work here. Bronte hasn't really looked like getting up into that excellent range just yet. This one's going to come to a close with Bronte Macaulay left chasing an 8.21. And Sage Erickson stays on her feet to keep herself out of trouble. And a healthy heat score total it is, a 14.14, as she keeps her Rip Curl Pro dreams alive.